The Illest Critics.
Let go.
On the Raw 808 Underground Radio.
Snoop Dogg has acquired Death Row Records.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. Shouts out to Snoop Dogg.
Shouts out to Snoop.
Well, now what do you think that's going to happen, though?
I mean,
because, you know, back in the day, Death Row.
would it be as what it was? I don't think so.
It could never be.
No, this can never be as what they did at that time. I don't know. There's no way you can say that. But at the same time, there is a lot of rappers out the West. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he gravitate towards Kendrick. Maybe he grab Kendrick.
Now, remember what we said last show.
Maybe he get y'all said the Game. Maybe the Game want to join in on it.
The Game has a pretty good. I think he would be a pretty good candidate for it. Crooked Eye probably would never do it again.
Wasn't A$AP Rocky already signed with Death Row?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
He said Rocky.
What?
A$AP Rocky's from Harlem. He's not signed to them. No.
Oh,
It
no.
was
Crooked Eye was all. Crooked Eye
came out with Death Row. I feel it.
Crooked Eye was Suge Knight's secret weapon when everything fell apart.
And
I'm talking about it was. I ain't look it up, but I know it was somebody that kind of more recently was
Nah, Death Row.
on Death Row.
Death Row been messed up for a while.
Yeah,
They've
for a
been-
while.
they've been-
I
they've
mean,
been-
like maybe.
I'm
not-
talking
When I
about.
say recent, I don't mean like this past 5 years. I mean like maybe 10, 15 years ago when they first came out. But anyway,
Nah, we can look at it. But my thing is, I don't know. That might have been. You know how some people do stuff just because. That might be what Snoop was doing just because. I mean, he was already, head of Def Jam. What's that, marketing and things like that.
I'm actually looking that up right now because that might be a breach of interest, if I want to say, like conflict of interest, because you can't be creative control
Of Def Jam.
and then be the owner of Death Row. That would be like a
Breach of contract. What they call that, conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Conflict of interest.
that would be difficult for him to manage both because one is East Coast and one is West Coast, obviously. So yeah,
He's just a consultant. He'll be all right.
nah, but they gotta get rid of him though. Snoop Dogg is Def Jam recordings as executive, creative, and strategic consultant. Yeah, he has to leave Def Jam.
Yeah, he might have to leave Def Jam, but you know what? Def Jam, they might even let that ride. Def Jam might let that ride because, well,
but think about it.
What
If
Def
you-
Jam got?
If you're creative, your that title, what you just said, what Styxx just said is, my job is to make sure to bring
Talent.
Def Jam.
talent to Def Jam. So why would I bring you talent if I have my own record label? I'm just saying.
He'll have to get rid of him, or he'll have to leave.
Or what's going to happen is all the good shit he finds, he gonna bring over to his squad, and all the other motherfuckers.
You know what?
He gonna go to Def Jam.
You know what, Styxx? I think you might be right because remember, Jay-Z was going to retire. He was going to retire from rap, right?
Okay.
And then because of whatever was going on with him and Dame, he ended up just going to be the vice president. But he wasn't going to stay at Rockefeller and be the president of Def Jam.
Yeah,
Remember that?
You can't do that.
Yeah, it might be a breach of contract, and it's, you know what? I don't know how seriously everybody thought that position for Snoop was. I don't know how serious they thought it was. It may be, basically the title officially is consultant, so he's a consultant. But at the same time, like you said, if you're on your own label of one as big or as reputable as Death Row, you would keep the talent for yourself.
You gonna keep the talent for yourself.
Well, the thing is, you have to rebuild Death Row Records.
From the bottom up.
Yeah, so
that means that's gonna take time.
Yeah, so he has to
Right,
scout people
right.
and get talent and everything.
Talent.
I don't know about
you
all
gotta
that.
get a whole crew. You gotta get
I don't know about all that. Snoop.
everything.
I don't think there's not a person in the game that don't want to work with Snoop. Because I'm not talking business wise. I'm talking about
That's the
charismatic.
problem. You're talking about the personal level. Snoop
Right.
can be great from a personal level. Most people are good from
But
a
he might
personal
not,
level. But then when it comes down to business, we don't know his agenda.
Yeah,
He's still the owner, so now he has to make a profit.
true indeed.
So again, I don't know. This This might be just a thing that's like how can I put
Put
this?
it in the trophy case. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's basically what
all
it
the
is.
shit Suge put that man through.
It's
And
like-
now guess what? Suge, you have to
I'm-
watch me.
No, you know what it is? I think it is. I think it's like this. If let's say, grandmama house, right? And it's foreclosed. So you got enough money. I want to buy it. Even if you ain't living in it.
Oh yeah, pay the taxes off
You know
and
what
get
I'm
it.
saying? Just to have it. Because it's got sentimental value. Because without Death Row, it wouldn't be Snoop. So, you know what I mean? So I think that's probably why he did it.
Well, I think I've always said this before. Even when he first signed on to Def Jam, he should never be at Def Jam. Def Jam is not for him. It's a New York
it's
base.
not.
He needed to go to Death Row or just Interscope and work with Interscope. But now that he has Death Row Records, it's perfect for him. He can go now. It's Cali based, number one.
Yeah.
He can actually sign people
Yeah.
to Death Row to represent Death Row, bring the West Coast back into the forefront.
Yeah.
Besides just Kendrick Lamar, and again, they actually have some talent out there that they can sign and bring to the limelight. It's a good move, but the only thing that will be problematic in the future, who wants to sign to a major label?
Nobody wants to sign.
Now that's the dilemma.
Nobody wants to sign. Everybody already knows the game. The game is you make more money if you grind a little harder by yourself.
And do an independent route.
And you don't have to worry about nobody taking your royalties. You don't have to worry about getting control of your masters. You don't have to do nothing. And everybody knows that part of the game. You know how they say the game is to be sold, not told. You know what I'm saying? Now somebody told everybody the game. Everybody's looking at the whole situation like right now. If I was a popping rapper or something like that, if I was a popping rapper myself, I'm basically giving a company, a stake in my brand for what? Something they're gonna tell me, oh, what you doing? Oh, well, I got my man on Instagram. Me and my engineer, we in the studio. All of this is mine. I got my own studio. I got $1 million. I done made $1 million without you. I got my own studio at the crib. No, I don't need to go to Baseline. I'm cool. I got exactly what Baseline has in my studio. I went to Baseline one time. Now I got everything that Baseline got in my house. I don't need to do that. Right? Everybody is learning the game. And nowadays, shit, you don't need none of that shit. You don't need a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
When the last time somebody needed a motherfucking soundboard?
Shit, if I'm not mistaken, Madlib did Freddie Gibbs, what is it? Bandana off his iPhone. Like he produced it off his iPhone. So I was like, yeah, you don't really need all that sound shit.
You don't need that
You
shit.
don't need that shit anymore.
You don't need that shit. Have you seen the studio that Conway the Machine records in?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the basement. Like,
Yeah.
you can still see the water heater over in the corner and
Yeah.
shit like that, dog. Yeah, you don't need that. So now, why would anybody want to, like, the only thing that could really make Snoop Dogg's Death Row pop is if the newly released Kendrick Lamar went over there. Then people would pay attention to it.
I don't
But
think
I don't know. I know it won't happen.
Kendrick's not doing that. He's not going
Kendrick-
under.
This is the Illest Critics
Let go.
on the Raw 808 Underground Radio.